Well, hi, you guys. Let's talk about solving two-step equations today. So, take a look at this little GEMDAS ladder. Remember, if we want to simplify, we always would do whatever's inside the grouping symbols first, and then we would take care of all the exponents, and then we would multiply or divide, and then we would add or subtract. But when we solve equations in algebra, we actually have to climb up the stairs. So we're going to have to destroy any adding or subtracting first, destroy any multiplying or dividing second, and then later on in algebra you'll talk about destroying exponents and even what to do with grouping symbols. But right now let's focus on these first two steps. So we always have to destroy adding or subtracting first, multiplying or dividing second. Okay, take a look at this first example. 4x plus 9 equals negative 7. So notice how I wrote it with my black pen first. Then you circle the variable, bring down the wall. Now notice I have to destroy adding first. So I'm going to subtract 9 on both sides of the wall. So I bring down my 4x, I bring down the equal sign, and negative 7 plus negative 9 would make negative 16. And now I circle the variable, bring down my wall, and to get rid of the multiplying by 4, I have to divide by 4 on both sides. So then these 4's cancel to make that giant invisible 1. So I get x, I bring down the equal sign, equals, and then negative 16 divided by 4 is negative 4. Okay, so let's take a look at the checkpoint to solve these equations. Remember, show all steps. Okay, take a look at number 1. I wrote 3x plus 8 equals 26 with my black pen. Then I use my red, I circle the variable, bring down the wall. Notice how I see adding 8, and that's what I want to destroy. So I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides of the wall. So bring down the 3x, positive 8 plus negative 8 destroy each other, bring down the equal sign, and then 26 plus negative 8 makes 18. Now I have 3x equals 18. So I circle the variable, I bring down my wall, and notice how the 3 is being multiplied. So I do the inverse. I divide both sides by 3, and I get, so 3 divided by 3 cancels out. So I bring down my x, I bring down my equal sign, and 18 divided by 3 gives me 6, and I box my answer. Now I showed you just a mental math check. You can always put the 6 back in the equation. So 3 times 6 would be 18, and 18 plus 8 gives me 26. So it checks. You can always do a mental math check. Take a look at number 2. I copy the equation exactly like it's given to me. Negative 21 equals 4x plus 7. Now I circle my variable and I bring down the wall. Notice how adding 7 is touching the circle. So I'm going to subtract 7 on both sides of the wall. And so here, negative 21 minus 7, well, I added a line and changed the sign. So that means negative 21 plus negative 7. That gives me negative 28. I bring down the equal sign. I bring down my 4x. And then, of course, negative 7 plus positive 7 destroy each other. So now I'm left with negative 28 equals 4x. So I circle my variable, I bring down the wall, and to get rid of that 4, I divide by 4 on both sides of the equal sign. So negative 28 divided by 4 is negative 7. I bring down my equal sign, and then these 4's cancel out to make that giant invisible 1. So I have x equals negative 7. Okay, let's look at example 2 using addition and multiplication. Okay, I wrote the equation exactly like they gave it to me. X over 3 minus 4 equals negative 1. Alright, I'm going to circle my variable with my red pen and put the wall under the equal sign. Notice where we saw subtraction, I'm going to add a line and change the sign. So now, looking at my circle, I see adding negative 4, and I have to destroy that negative 4. So I'm going to add 4 on both sides of the equal sign. And so I bring down the x over 3, I bring it straight down. Negative 4 plus a positive 4 destroy each other. So you can cross those out, bring the equal sign straight down, and then negative 1 plus positive 4 makes positive 3. So now I have x over 3 equals 3. So I circle my variable, I bring down the wall. Notice what's touching the circle, dividing by 3. Well, the inverse is to multiply by 3 on both sides of the equal sign. Now these 3's cancel over here, leaving the x all by itself. I bring the equal sign straight down, and 3 times 3 gives me 9. So let's solve these equations. First, look at number 3. I copy x over 4 minus 7 equals 2. So I copied it right here again. I circled my variable. I added a line and changed the sign in front of the 7, and I brought my wall down. And now look at what's touching the circle. I see adding negative 7. So the only way to destroy that is to add a positive 7 on both sides of the wall. So I bring down the x over 4. Negative 7 plus positive 7 destroy each other, so those you can cross out. Bring the equal sign straight down. And of course, 2 plus 7 leaves you with positive 9. So now I have x over 4 equals 9. So I circle my variable. I bring down the wall. See, the dividing by 4 is touching the circle, so I have to do the inverse. I multiply by 4 on both sides of the wall. So these 4's will cancel out, and I bring down the x, I bring down the equal sign, and 9 times 4 gives me 36. So look at number 4. I have 8 equals b over 5 minus 3. So I wrote the equation, circle the variable, I added a line and changed the sign in front of the 3, and I brought the wall down. See the adding negative 3? So I want to destroy that, so I add a positive 3 on both sides of the wall, and then I simplify. 8 plus 3 gives me 11. I brought the equal sign down. I let the b over 5 slide straight down, and of course negative 3 plus a positive 3 destroy each other. So now I'm left with b over 5 equals 11. So I circle my variable, I bring down the wall, and I see that dividing by 5 is touching the circle. So to destroy it, I multiply both sides by 5. And then I simplify. 5 times 11 is 55. I bring the equal sign straight down, and these 5's will destroy each other, so I let the b slide straight down. So I have b equals 55. Okay, solving an equation with negative coefficients is really easy in my class as long as you're willing to change subtraction to adding the opposite. Alright, so take a look over here. 2 minus 3x equals 17. I wrote it out exactly like they gave it to me. And then when I see subtraction, add a line, change the sign. So this becomes 2 plus negative 3x equals 17. And then we do the same thing. Circle the variable, bring down the wall. See how they're adding 2. That's what we have to destroy. And the only way to destroy adding 2 is to subtract 2 or add a negative 2. It means the same thing. So a positive 2 plus a negative 2 destroy each other. You can cross those out. Let the negative 3x slide straight down. Let the equal sign come down. And then 17 plus negative 2 is 15. So now you have negative 3x equals 15. Circle the variable, bring the wall down. And see that negative 3, we want to destroy it. Well, since it's being multiplied, the way to destroy it is to divide. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 creates that giant invisible positive 1. And then you let the x slide down, let the equal sign come down, and 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. Okay, so take a look at number 5 in the checkpoint. 3 minus 2y equals 19. Notice how I wrote it out exactly like they gave it to me. And then with the minus sign, we add a line and change the sign in front of the 2y. So now I circled the y, I brought my wall straight down. See the adding 3, this is what we have to destroy first. And the only way to destroy adding 3 is to subtract 3 on both sides of the wall. So positive 3 plus a negative 3 destroy each other. You can cross those out. Let the negative 2y slide straight down. Let the equal sign come straight down. And then 19 plus negative 3 is 16. Now, circle your variable, bring down the wall. Look at that negative 2. We have to destroy that. Since it's being multiplied, we do the inverse. We divide both sides by negative 2. And so remember, a negative 2 divided by a negative 2 creates a giant positive 1. Let the y slide straight down, let the equal sign come down, and then 16 divided by negative 2 gives us negative 8. Take a look over here at number 6. We have negative 5 equals 4 minus m. And remember the trick we talked about in class. See in front of that m, put a giant 1 so you can actually see it. And then where there's a subtraction, we're going to add a line and change the sign. So this should be negative 5 equals 4 plus negative 1m. And now you're ready to solve it. Circle the variable, bring down the wall. See the adding 4, that's what we have to destroy first. So we're going to subtract 4 on both sides of the wall. So now negative 5 minus 4, or negative 5 plus negative 4, gives us negative 9. Let the equal sign come straight down. Positive 4 plus negative 4 destroy each other. You can cross them out and bring down that negative 1m. And now circle the variable, bring down the wall. We have to get rid of that negative 1 that's touching our circle. So we're going to divide both sides of the equation by negative 1. So negative 9 divided by negative 1 gives us 9. Bring down the equal sign. And then negative 1 divided by negative 1 gives us that giant invisible positive 1 here. And then let your m come down.